Chapter 62, Invitation. No one spoke in fear that they would affect Su Cheng's ability to successfully pull off this majestic move. This included Shi Wenbin and his buddy. They both held their breath as they looked towards the area where the discs were going to fly out from. He very much wanted to know how Su Cheng could sense when and where the discs were flying out from. Could he see through the blindfold too? Just when he was tangled in thought, Su Cheng suddenly moved. Immediately, 50 meters ahead, 5 discs flew out from all corners all at once. When the 3 spectators saw this shocking scene, they immediately looked towards Su Cheng, feeling that his arms moved within an instant, aiming at all 5 with one streamlined motion. As he was raising his arm to shoot the disc at the top left corner, within a second, he had already fired 3 shots on the way with a slight bend of his wrist. When his aim got to the disc at the top left corner, he fired the last shot. Pa 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 pa. The 5 discs were almost all shot out of their trajectory at the same time. The number 5 popped up on the display, shocking everyone. Su Cheng took off his blindfold and saw the data, slightly feeling satisfied with his reaction speed. However, he didn't notice that Wang Ying and the other 2 had all taken in a large breath of cold air as they stared at him in horror. I think I'm done with reaction speed testing for today, time to move on to speed and power, Su Cheng mumbled to himself. Wang Ying immediately came back to his senses and said, "When you broke that machine last time, did you use all of your strength?" "I don't know, maybe that's not my limit," Su Cheng said. "Not his limit?" Shi Wenbin and his buddy's eyelids jumped. "Holy fuck, last time you reached over 1,400 kilograms of force even before you broke the machine, and now you are saying that's still not your limit? And saying it so nonchalantly." Su Cheng put down the prop gun and blindfold and left the shooting range, with Wang Ying quickly following behind. Shi Wenbin immediately went to pick up the blindfold to try it on. Holy fuck, was it pitch black, he couldn't see shit. He was so confused, just how did Su Cheng see through it? Could he be using his ears? Wait a second, that's not right too. That machine didn't have any audio cues as well, nor could they hear the sound of the discs flying out when they were at the 50 meters range. This was so strange. Turn on the system. He can do it, why can't I? Shi Wenbin said with the blindfold on. His buddy went and turned on the machine, and after just staring for a dozen seconds, the first disc flew out. Seeing Shi Wenbin not reacting at all, he knew normal people could only rely on their eyes. Otherwise, they wouldn't even know when the discs would come out. It turned out that Su Cheng was really amazing. "Yo fucker, did you turn it on yet?" Shi Wenbin swore grumpily. His buddy, the second one, already flew out. Shi Wenbin. After Wang Ying caught up to Su Cheng's steps, she asked, "Why did you choose to retire? You are still young, and logically speaking, talents like you should be a hot commodity that many military regions would fight over for. I can't explain it in a few words. Now, I'm a patrol officer here in Changcheng, and this job isn't bad," Su Cheng smiled and replied. "With your skills and capabilities, you definitely don't need to start at the bottom of the police system," Wang Ying replied. "It's not like you don't know the difference between politics and the military. In the military, we can use our fists to get higher ranks, but when it comes to politics, achievements are everything. My instructor thought that the military and politics are very different, so I should start from the bottom and build a good foundation first." Wang Ying lightly whispered to him, "Hey! Wanna come to our 8th military region? If you join, I can make sure you have the stage to shine. I can get you in with a recommendation." Su Cheng shook his head. "It's fine, I promised my former instructor, if I'm going back, I will only be going back to 5th military region." Wang Ying frowned and said, "What's so good about the 5th military region? Their equipment and instruction resources are so poor, and we've never seen any good results from the annual military exercise competition. I'm not being mean, but the 5th military region is always barely average in rank among the 38 military regions in the country. Su Cheng bitterly smiled. How would he not know this? Every year, if it weren't for him, Li Wei, and Luo Yi leading the team, it was probably very likely that they would end up last. This was also why many people didn't notice their individual capabilities. Then, the higher-ups would only pay attention to the military regions ranked close to the top to send them to higher-level institutions for training. This was also why Wang Ying and many others had never heard of Su Cheng. After all, the 5th military region was a really average military region. It was completely impossible to compare it to the 8th military region located in Shangcheng. Su Cheng replied, in the beginning, when the list came out, no one wanted me but the 5th military region, so I will always be a soldier there. Wang Ying was feeling a bit bad. It is such a pity for your talent. Generally, those coming out from top-ranking military regions would have a wider range of career options after they retired from the military, and no wonder Su Cheng was only transferred to Shangcheng to be a patrol officer. If it was someone coming out from one of the top 5 military regions from last year, they would get transferred directly to the mid to high level positions in the police system. Su Cheng actually didn't care, because everywhere's the same if he couldn't get into the Dragon Division. Right now, he needed time to take good care of his body and figure out what's going on. Of course, he never gave up on his dream and the original qualification status of trying out for Dragon Division. After he fully understands his physical condition, he would go and self-refer himself to the Dragon Division. Presumably, Luo Yi and Li Wei would definitely get a few votes for him. On the other side, the defeated Shi Wenbin's path was blocked by 2 veterans as he was coming out from the shooting range. Usually, people wouldn't be this curious when there's a visitor. It was mainly because last time when Shi Wenbin and his buddy came back, they were telling everyone about how horrifying Su Cheng's power was. But naturally, the explosive strength of over 1,000 kilograms would definitely be a topic for people to sneer at, because it was just too ridiculous to be true. So, when Su Cheng was brought in today, the veterans wanted to come here and see this legend. Where's the guy? The beast you guys were talking about, a top-ranking veteran of the military region stopped Shi Wenbin and his partner and asked. He just went that way with Instructor Wang, she replied. They seemed to have headed to test out his strength, so they probably went to the weights room. Those 2 veterans turned around and went into that direction. They were both confused why someone that was always so cold and distant like Wang Ying would enthusiastically take a random guy around for a tour in their military region. When the 2 went over, they saw Su Cheng and Wang Ying talking about something in the weights room. Ying, this man is, the 2 went up and pretended to ask. 2 captains, his name is Su Cheng. He used to be in the 5th military region but has now retired. Wang Ying was just thinking how she might not have enough influence to refer Su Cheng in, so upon seeing 2 captains, she immediately introduced him to them. I think it might be a bit of a waste letting him stay in Shangcheng, so I wanted to invite him to join the 8th military region. The 2 snorted. Is there anything wrong? Although our 8th military region isn't the top in the country, but it's in the top 10. Are you sure about letting someone from the 27th ranked military region join ours? Don't you think that if he was really competent, he would be staying at the 5th military region?